Okay, today we're going to talk about fact families. Now, these apply to addition and subtraction, and if you're a little bit older, multiplication and division as well. But we're only talking about addition and subtraction. And remember, addition is counting on, subtraction is taking away. So, fact families. Now, they don't get together and have family reunions or holidays, but what they do is tell you a little bit about how numbers are related. So for each of these fact families I'm going to show you, you should have 4 different equations. Let's start with an example. So I'm going to draw 3 circles. Okay, 1, 2, 3. And I'm going to put the number 16 in this circle. And I'm going to put the number 9 and 7 right here. Okay? So we're going to think about how these numbers are related. So, first thing we're going to do is let's see if 9 plus 7 equals 16. Let's try it out. So we're going to go ahead and draw out 9 circles. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We're going to draw 7 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now we're going to count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Oh, well, what do you know? 9 plus 7 equals 16. Now this also applies to, of course, 7 plus 9, because 7 plus 9 and 9 plus 7 are the same thing. They're just reversed. And we can do that according to what we call in math the commutative property. So now let's take a look at subtraction, because remember what I said, there should be 4 different equations for each one of these fact families. What happens if I said 16, then our next problem would be 16 minus 7. 16 minus 7. Well, let's take a look at that. We can count backwards. We can count backwards using our hands or using counters, right? We could draw out all 16 dots again, kind of a lot, but you can. You could use a number line. There are a number of ways that we could figure out what the answer is to 16 minus 7. Some of you have already figured it out just by looking at the 2 top numbers, because I'm telling you right now, these are all a family. It means they are all related. So there shouldn't be any different answer than any of the 3 numbers that you already have on your page. But let's go ahead and check it out anyway. Let's draw out 16 circles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. Okay, now I have 16, and some of you may have noticed that I drew them out the exact same way I did the first time with the addition problem. But this time we're going to take away 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So now we're going to see how many we have left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Well, what do you know? Our answer is 9. Are you starting to see the pattern here? Check this out right here. We've got 9 all the way across. 9 plus 7 equals 16. 7 plus 9 equals 16. 16 minus 7 equals 9. Now, lastly, let's take a look at 16 minus 9. Some of you have already figured this out. You should know what this answer is going to be just by looking at this. Let's look back at our circles over here. Instead of crossing out 7, we are going to cross out 9, because we're taking 9 away from 16. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. How many do we have left? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Well, there you go. Every single number from our fact family over here is over here. 9 plus 7 equals 16, 7 plus 9 equals 16, 16 minus 7 equals 9, and 16 minus 9 equals 7. All 3 numbers are counted for in 4 different math equations. 2 addition and 2 subtraction. And that's what a fact family is. These are numbers that are all related in an equation. So if I just gave you this equation right here, 9 plus 7 equals 16, you could figure out that every single one of these equations is related just by seeing it. Even if I didn't give you the numbers in the circles like on the left. We will do one more example and then we will call it a day. Okay, so let's look at, and I'm going to draw it in the middle this time. Let's draw 3 circles here. And let's look at 18 and 11 and 7. 18, 11, and 7. So first we're going to look at, can we add? Let's say we add 11 plus 7. 11 plus 7. Now, I want you to do this one on your own. Do it in the way that will work best for you. Use a number line. Use your hands. You can still use your hands because you start with the larger number, so all you're doing is using 7 of your fingers to count this one because you're counting up from 11 7 times. Or you can use drawings, cubes, counters, anything that you have to help you do this one.
One eternity later.
So I'm going to go ahead and use my hands here. I'm looking at them right now. Okay, I'm going to start with 11 and I'm going to count on 7 times. Since we have a 5 here and 2 here. So we're going to count on from 11, okay? It's going to be 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. That means our answer is 18. Okay, so 11 plus 7 is 18. Now you can see that we've used all 3 of those numbers, 11, 18, and 7. Now, again, you can always change the order of the addends or the parts in your addition problem and get the same answer. That means that 7 plus 11 also equals 18. Okay, so that always applies to addition problems. You can reverse the numbers or change the order of the numbers, 11 plus 7 or 7 plus 11, and you're still going to get the same sum. That's this number right over here, the whole, right? But that doesn't apply to subtraction, though, because in subtraction, you can't take away from a smaller number. So you couldn't take 11 away from 7. That wouldn't work. You wouldn't be able to do it because there aren't 7 doesn't have enough to take away 11. You could take 7 away from 11, or you could take 7 away from 18. Now in this case though, we don't want to take 7 away from 11 because we know we're only working with these 3 numbers. If we took 7 away from 11, we'd end up with a number that we're not using here. So let's go ahead and take a look at, that means that we know automatically the first number in both sides of our subtraction equations, is both those numbers will be 18. We have to use the bigger number down at the beginning of these 2 subtraction equations, okay? That means that 1 is going to be 18 minus 7, and 1 is going to be 18 minus 11. And again, because we're using the only numbers that we're using are the numbers that we see on our screen right now, those 3 numbers in the circles, that means you automatically know that 18 minus 7 is 11, and 18 minus 11 is 7. And those, my friends, are fact families. If you have any questions, if you'd like me to go a little bit further into this, please let me know.